Nigeria Info.
On the news this evening, defense security sectors allocated highest sum in 2022 budget estimates. Port Harcourt business analyst Isaac Owajuno says continuous borrowings by federal government will mortgage Nigeria's future. Media aide to President Buhari, Femi Adesina, criticizes Senate Minority Leader Enyinaya Abaribe for allegedly using foul language against those in leadership. In business, Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed says Nigeria won't have exited recession without borrowing. And on the foreign scene, suicide bomb attack on Afghan mosque leaves at least 50 people dead. I am Constance Mega. Defense and security sectors have been allocated the highest sum in the 2022 budget estimate. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, gave a breakdown of the 2022 appropriation bill in Abuja today, while she said 2.41 trillion naira, representing 15% of the total figure, was allocated to the sectors. Well, the public presentation comes a day after President Muhammadu Buhari presented a budget estimate of 16.39 trillion naira deficit to the National Assembly. In the meantime, a Port Harcourt-based business analyst and entrepreneur, Isaac Owajuno, says the continuous borrowings by the federal government will negatively affect the country in the future. Mr. Owajuno was reacting to the 2022 budget proposal of 16.39 trillion naira deficits presented by President Muhammadu Buhari to the National Assembly yesterday.
Now, the excuse the president gave to us is that the budget is supposed to be financed for the future. And you agree with me that majority of Nigerians are complaining that the level of debt the country is undertaking, that in the next 30 years we will not be able to pay back. And that is actually mortgaging the future of Nigeria. If it is anything to go by, the president has not commissioned any major project in Nigeria that is outstanding. The president is always evolving new projects. The country, this is not healthy for us.
Well, President Buhari had said the 2022 budget will be financed mainly by new borrowings of 5.012 trillion naira. Special advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, has bashed the Senate Minority Leader Enyinaya Abaribe for allegedly using foul language against those in leadership. In a Facebook post, Adesina said Abaribe should be in prison after he stood surety for someone bent on division of the country. Well, the presidential aide also said the federal government must be strong and show strength for it not to be taken for a ride. Abaribe had, in a recent television interview, said he supports the cries of his people against injustice and stands with them. The spokesperson of the Rivers State Civil Society Organization, Solomon Lenu, says the judiciary has not done enough to ensure that victims of police brutality and victims of the NSAS protest are compensated. Well, speaking on the anniversary of the NSAS protest, Mr. Lenu told our correspondent no one should expect much from the government with regards to justice delivery for victims of police brutality.
One thing is to make a law, and another thing is implementation, which is the biggest problem that we have in Nigeria. That is with no thanks to our judicial system. We are in a country now where people no longer have confidence in the judiciary because the judiciary is almost looking like a marketplace where someone will come and buy whatever judgment he wants. And then our institutions are not independent. They are not strong enough. When you have a strong institution, that's the time that you can actually be happy when a pronouncement is made.
Well, Mr. Lenu also said the demands by Nigerian youths before the protest was suspended have not been met.
We've seen the way things happen around here in Nigeria. When the 5 for 5 was hurriedly, accepted, we never expected much because we know that this government is one that is built upon lies. Not even one of those police officers who are fingered with evidence to have perpetrated brutality, extortions, and criminality. No one has been prosecuted. All they did was to change the mantra of SARS, but that is not just what we wanted. We also wanted the improvement in the lives of the police officers. We've not seen that. We also want a better relationship between the police officers, and members of the public.
Moving on now, in a bid to tackle instability and conflict in the Niger Delta, the Foundation for Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta, PIND, established by Chevron Corporation, has trained thousands of youths on technical and soft skill to meet up with market demands through its Niger Delta Youth Employment Pathways NDYEP project. Was speaking as a guest on a pinned program on Nigeria Info FM, the Delta State Youth Employment Project Manager Patrick Ekpe said a total of 1,933 of the trained youths have been linked to waged employment and enterprise startups in emerging growth sectors. Well, he said the project develops and delivers skills development content which incorporates technical, behavioral, and entrepreneurship skills tailored to these sectors, adding that they receive post-training support into employment or entrepreneurship.
The project sought to develop models of quality training and equipped young people with market-relevant skills, and also supported them to transition them into sustainable jobs or enterprise development. The project was implemented over 2 years, starting late in 2017, and has trained over 4,000 young persons in sector-specific skills, and over 50% of them were transitioned into sustainable jobs within the state.
But Mr. Ekpe also spoke on how the project was developed and executed.
The project came to be as a result of high level of unemployment, underemployment within the region. So we are implementing the project to test the newly developed model. Areas were highlighted as market-relevant areas. These were skill sets that were in high demand by industries across the 3 states. So this informed us on the areas to target specific skill training for the young persons and to be able to transition them into various roles in the industry.
A beneficiary, Precious Ugonna, applauded pinned for the training.
Getting from the NDA training has really changed a lot for me. I get to learn a lot. Like, I can make footwear of my own for people, such as slippers, sandals. Now I can wake up in the morning, come to TFA, because I have a lot of orders I need to deliver. In the next 2 to 3 years, I really want to open up a company of my own where I'll use it as a medium of reducing the rates of unemployment in Nigeria. I want to thank Pink Foundation and Ford Foundation for bringing the NDYE training to us. I really benefited a lot from the program.
Well, the Niger Delta Youth Employment Pathways NDYEP is a pilot project of PIND with funding support from Ford Foundation. The project started implementation in 2018 in 3 states: Rivers, Abia, and Akwa Ibom. The project provided direct vocational training in 4 sectors of the economy, which includes ICT and renewables, construction, agriculture, and finished leather. Well, these sectors and interventions were selected based on findings from a labor market study that sought to understand the labor demand and supply dynamics in the pilot states, making the NDYEP approach demand-driven, market-led, and evidence-based. In other news now, INEC says over 2.5 million registered voters are eligible to participate in the November 6 governorship election in Anambra State. INEC chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu disclosed this during an emergency meeting of political parties at the commission's headquarters in Abuja. He said over 100,000 citizens registered to vote during the first quarter of the agency's continuous voter registration exercise, which commenced in June. Still ahead, Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed defends federal government's borrowings. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
The managing director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Sule Abdulaziz, says he is committed to providing an enabling environment for staff for operations efficiency. Engineer Abdulaziz stated this during the official commissioning of TCN Regional Office in Port Harcourt. He, however, encouraged TCN staff to always put in their best efforts in service delivery.
Actually, if you put people to work and you don't give them convenient environment, these people won't be able to perform as expected. So these people have been suffering from lack of office for so many years. As you have said earlier, this building has been going on for 11 years. We had one issue or the other, and all that time these people have been managing. So that's why we feel that it is very necessary for us to complete this building so that they will have a better environment to work. To the workers, is give and take. The management is spending money on them to make the place more conducive for them. So in return, they should pay their job more seriously.
Now, on his part, Regional Transmission Manager, Port Harcourt Zonal Region, Engineer Daniel Udofia, thanked the Managing Director and his team for the completion of the project, which he said was abandoned over the years. He added that the efficiency of the staff will improve as they now have a better working environment.
For over 10 years, this regional office complex had been abandoned with no hope of habitation. But today, God has changed our story and filled our hearts with songs of victory over abandonment through the President's corporate management team led by Engineer Abdulaziz. Thank you, my MD, for allowing God to use you as an instrument to bring about this. Our efficiency shall improve as we are going to have a better working environment.
While also speaking, Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider, Engineer Victor Adewumi, urged TCN staff to work together as a team in achieving the vision of the agency.
I want you to live here, challenge in any area that you are. It's not only in the technical field. Whether you are in account, whether you are in audit, whether you are in admin, it doesn't really matter. Where you are working, we all need each other. Without all of us competing together, we cannot succeed. And I really want to equally commend my friend from the other side, the ROM. There is nothing like TSP, ISO. We have only one managing director, so it's only one company. So I want you to work together as a team so that at the end of the day, the vision of TCN will be realized.
In business, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, says recent borrowings by the federal government helped the country's exit from recessions. Well, she said this during the public presentation and breakdown of the 2022 appropriation bill in Abuja today. Well, Zainab Ahmed said Nigeria would not have recovered from the recessions fast without the sustained government expenditure funded partly by debt. In entertainment, veteran Nollywood actor Chiweta Luago has been released from army custody a day after he was arrested for putting on an outfit with semblance to the Biafran flag. He was released today after the Nigeria. In a statement, the Nigerian army had in the 2022 World Cup qualifier match in Lagos yesterday. Well, the NFF president said the defeat was a surprise, but he is optimistic the Super Eagles would come out better in the return leg of the encounter in Douala, Cameroon on Sunday. Well, despite the defeat at home, Nigeria lead Group C of the African Qualification Series.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Afghan officials say a suicide bomb attack on a mosque in the city of Kunduz has killed at least 50 people. While images on social media showed bodies and debris inside the mosque used by the minority Shia Muslim community, where more than 100 people were injured in the blast in the northern city. The recent attack is the deadliest assault since U.S. forces left, while no group has claimed responsibility for the attack. On the news this evening, you heard that that defense and security sectors have been allocated the highest sums in the 2022 budget estimate. Media aide to President Muhammadu Buhari, Femi Adesina, has criticized Senate Minority Leader Enyinaya Abaribe for allegedly using foul language against those in leadership. Port Harcourt-based business analyst Isaac Wadiono has said the continuous borrowings by the federal government will mortgage Nigeria's future. In business, Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed has said Nigeria won't have exited recession without borrowing. And on the foreign scene, a suicide bomb attack on an Afghan mosque has killed at least 50 people. The news was edited by Ifeemi Andrew. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this evening. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening.